It's 11:01. We are with you for the 32nd episode of Restart. Today, we want to prove to you that Attar truly deserved to be killed. Today, we issue Attar's death sentence for you, so you understand that it's not just the rabbis, priests, and mullahs of the world who are thirsty for Attar's blood. But if Attar were alive today, the 7 billion people of the world would also kill him, and I would do the same. This means that reading Attar is forbidden, and you should change whatever thoughts you have about him. The best way to save humanity would have been to slit Attar's throat from ear to ear the day he was born, to put everyone at ease. If you see that Attar of Nishapur is not considered the first in the world, it's because we don't have such a thing as first. Rumi became first to make the whole world understand that when it comes to Attar, we have nothing of significance and there is no understanding of him in the world, so they can collect their money. Collect your money. We know what we can do for television and radio if God wills it. One of the dear listeners said, "Sir, we want to help Restart." You can't help Restart, my dear. Restart is a program that if you want to help it financially, you have to give your honor, your life, and all your money. Restart is a very dangerous program. It's not my program for you to do anything with. The very fact that you help keep the radio on the air so Restart can be broadcast is enough to make you throw your hat in the air. But if you think something can be done to Restart, it's not like that at all. Because when you find the perfect human, the first thing he takes from you is your honor, your money, meaning your property and your life. And this has nothing to do with us. This happens on its own after you find him. I hope you will be careful. Whichever way it is broadcast is very valuable in itself. Anyway, this Thursday in Shaskal Plus, we will probably present to you the reasons for the disintegration of Iran and make you understand who wants it and why they profit from it. Well, your question might be this. You always think the disintegration is external, whereas you must understand that the disintegration is happening internally, meaning if you don't even understand the word disintegration, for that very reason, the best thing is to first understand the word disintegration and its other issues that will be presented to you. In last week's program, we talked about Attar and explained Attar's 7 valleys of love, which, if you permit me, I'll continue a bit to see if I can finish these 7 valleys in 5, 4, or at most 7 programs. Because there are very important matters hidden within it, and if God wills, let's see what we said. The poem begins like this. He said, we have 7 valleys on the path. Once you pass the 7 valleys, it is the threshold. There is the valley of quest, then the valley of love is boundless after that. Then the 3rd valley is that of knowledge. Then the 4th valley is the attribute of detachment, meaning there is detachment and knowledge. The 5th valley is pure unity. Then the 6th valley is the difficult valley of bewilderment, which we explained a little about last week. The 7th valley is poverty and annihilation, after which there is no path for you. You fall into a pool, the individual's path is lost, and after that, it becomes an ocean again. Last week we said we wanted to talk to you about the Valley of Quest, and some people said, "Well, sir, you said we are all in the quest, so God willing, if we find this quest, we'll enter the Valley of Love." I said, "No, man, don't get all lovey-dovey. The quest is a valley that wherever we reach this point, I will mention it. If you reach these few couplets that I am reading, it's as if you could recreate the Big Bang yourself. The Valley of Quest begins from the moment you are listening to this program. After 700 years, it starts from this moment until you circle the universe several hundred times. This becomes the Valley of Quest. The Valley of Quest itself is a sea of knowledge and contains many matters. It's not like you think, okay, let's see what quest means. The quest begins, I explained this last week. I said that for Adam and Eve in paradise, the first thing that happened to them was the Valley of Quest. Meaning they sought not to be foolish, they sought not to be naive, they sought not to be blind followers in this paradise that was made for them. They sought to protest, they sought to have democracy and to think. They sought knowledge and decided that, sir, in any case, there is a quaim, the test is permanent until Judgment Day, and we can also be gods ourselves and create. In that moment of quest, against the angels who were just senselessly bowing and prostrating, Adam and Eve and Satan rose up. The first revolution thing came into being there. A rebellion similar to that of Abu Muslim Khorasani, which is supposed to happen in Iran, occurred. This Abu Muslim, this event, was mystical. They sought and they ate that apple with courage. To reach the quest, this poor Adam and Eve went through several paths within themselves. What does that mean? It means their minds started working in paradise. Then they concluded that they must eat this apple. They concluded not to be blind followers. They concluded not to follow rabbiism. They concluded not to follow priestism. They concluded not to be like the rest of the people, the 7 billion donkeys. To listen to restart. First, they came to this conclusion by thinking in paradise. As they were walking around together, it was as if they had lost something. They were missing something. This was the valley of quest. What were they searching for at that moment? The path, the custom, the behavior, the tradition. What was Hafez's point? If we don't eat this apple, we are just followers. What does not eating mean? We don't eat and we don't rot and we don't do this. What are these things? What does we shouldn't eat mean? Why shouldn't we eat? Thinking. Satan came to their aid. Satan came and helped them and explained to them that, sir, the valley of quest is a dangerous valley. The beginning of the valley of quest, even though it has become a restart, is very dangerous. And he taught them, saying, sir, if you eat from this tree, you will enter Attar's 7 valleys of love. They asked, what are these 7 valleys? He said, it's impossible to explain. Just shh, don't tell anyone. These idiots won't just be bowing and prostrating in this paradise. He sees the angels all in a state of bowing forever. He said, yes. He said, those are always fools, always bowing. He sees them always talking to themselves. He said, yes. Do you want to be like that, or do you want to understand a subject? They said, we want to understand. And the quest began. So, how does the valley of quest manifest in a child? If we want to talk about this scientifically, how does the valley of quest manifest in a child? It manifests at the moment the child reaches puberty. At the moment of puberty, around the age of 14 to 15, whether for boys or girls, I don't care who, when one reaches this puberty, what happens? What happens during the puberty of a boy and a girl? A simple thing happens. A pea-sized gland behind the hypothalamus moves. This means the child is seeking. So the child before, that's why they say, you dishonorable bastard, you have no right to execute a child under 15. You oaf, because a child from infancy until puberty is innocent. An angel, pure. Paradise is exactly what we are explaining. This pure child, this child doesn't know. If there's a fight, if they have some emotional outburst, if they kill someone, they don't deserve execution because they don't understand enough to be executed. They haven't eaten from that apple in paradise yet to be executed. That pea behind the brain, the hypothalamus, hasn't moved for them to be executed. You can't execute them, even if the parents of the opposing family say, you kill him. Zrение, вы не имеете права убивать. Why? First, let these dishonorable ones eat their apple. These little ones, these children, once they've eaten the apple, their small parton moves, the pituitary gland starts working, they understand something. Now we can say, you understood, you did this wrong, now we'll kill you. Where is this pituitary gland? It's back there. Wasn't it there before? Yes, sir, it was right there. Our idiot scientists say this pea-sized gland was back there, so why does it activate at 15? We don't know. Why doesn't it activate at 1? We don't know. This gland, it can't be explained. The gland of quest. So what does this mean? So where is the gland of quest in your body? It's behind this hypothalamus in the brain. It's a pea. Its name is pituitary. It moves. The boy's voice gets a little deeper. He slowly grows a mustache. Outwardly, he is moving towards the perfect man, who is a man, not dead. The man of you and me is a man. Meaning is a woman. Meaning is a man. It's being divided in physical appearance. Until now, in that body, the person doesn't know if they are a girl or a boy. For example, their appearance was clear, but now the signs are strengthening, meaning the pituitary gland has now moved and the mental structure of that individual is turned upside down, and these glands do many other things. A mustache grows, hair starts to grow, voices begin to... This is all appearance. But the most important thing that happens after this pituitary gland, the gland that activates, is that it guides this boy and girl after eating this apple from the valley of quest to another stage of the valley of quest. What does that mean? It means billions and billions of sperm are produced in the boy's body. Slowly chromosomes are produced. Now the body is heading towards reproduction. becoming God. The body is just now moving towards understanding something. So can a girl or boy under 15 understand anything? They can't understand, they understand afterward. That's a side quest. I'm also explaining the valley of quest in your body so you can understand everything together beautifully. So, sir, when your pituitary gland moves, it creates something in a man, something in a woman, that these two still don't know that when they get married, this thing of his with that thing of hers, they will produce a child, become God. So the quest itself brings you to godhood, dear listener. Meaning, we will go through all those valleys to the poetry of the Honorable Attar and see what the valley of quest is. I haven't said anything of my own. I am only revealing the ambiguous points of Attar, Sadi, Rumi, Ferdowsi, Khayyam, and Hafez, which these other scoundrels, for reasons of governments, mullahs, rabbis, don't want to be revealed. That's it. You all have gotten so excited. I'm just explaining these points. I haven't invented anything myself. Pay attention. He says, when you descend into the valley of quest, 100 troubles will come before you at every moment. It's just getting started, buddy. Before you thought you'd pray, perform ablution, bow and prostrate, oh how wonderful. You were happy. Now you've realized it's all in the toilet. There's no benefit whether you fornicate or pray. Fornication is better. Now you've realized there is no source of emulation. A source of emulation must have seen the light of God. Meaning, in the end, for you to know what it means, they must be at the final stage of the quest. The final stage of the valley of quest is seeing the light of God. Look what a first valley this is. Meaning you, that person, the source of emulation, that rabbi or that pope who wants to baptize you, must have seen the light of God to be able, when he baptizes you, to give commands to the structure of water, to the structure of the universe, to the molecules of the air, to the intermolecular forces, to the magnetic field, to the acceleration of gravity. He must give the command, be ready, an individual is coming to have faith. This pure child, this child doesn't know. If there's a fight, if they have some emotional outburst, if they kill someone, they don't deserve execution because they don't understand enough to be executed. They haven't eaten from that apple in paradise yet to be executed. That pea behind the brain, the hypothalamus, hasn't moved for them to be executed. You can't execute them, even if the parents of the opposing family say, you kill him. Зрение, вы не имеете права убивать. Why? First, let these dishonorable ones eat their apple. These little ones, these children, once they've eaten the apple, their small parton moves, the pituitary gland starts working, they understand something. Now we can say you understood, you did this wrong, now we'll kill you. Where is this pituitary gland? It's back there. Wasn't it there before? Yes, sir. It was right there. Our idiot scientists say this pea-sized gland was back there. So why does it activate at 15? We don't know. Why doesn't it activate at 1? We don't know. This gland, it can't be explained. The gland of quest. So what does this mean? So where is the gland of quest in your body? It's behind this hypothalamus in the brain. It's a pea. Its name is pituitary. It moves. The boy's voice gets a little deeper. He slowly grows a mustache. Outwardly, he is moving towards the perfect man, who is a man, not dead. The man of you and me is a man, meaning is a woman, meaning is a man. It's being divided in physical appearance. Until now, in that body, the person doesn't know if they are a girl or a boy. For example, their appearance was clear, but now the signs are strengthening, meaning the pituitary gland has now moved and the mental structure of that individual is turned upside down, and these glands do many other things. A mustache grows, hair starts to grow, voices begin to... This is all appearance. But the most important thing that happens after this pituitary gland, the gland that activates, is that it guides this boy and girl after eating this apple from the valley of quest to another stage of the valley of quest. What does that mean? It means billions and billions of sperm are produced in the boy's body. Slowly chromosomes are produced. Now the body is heading towards reproduction, becoming God. The body is just now moving towards understanding something. So can a girl or boy under 15 understand anything? They can't understand, they understand afterward. That's a side quest. I'm also explaining the valley of quest in your body so you can understand everything together beautifully. So, sir, when your pituitary gland moves, it creates something in a man, something in a woman, that these two still don't know that when they get married, this thing of his with that thing of hers, they will produce a child, become God. So the quest itself brings you to godhood, dear listener. Meaning, we will go through all those valleys to the poetry of the Honorable Attar and see what the Valley of Quest is. I haven't said anything of my own. I am only revealing the ambiguous points of Attar, Sadi, Rumi, Ferdowsi, Khayyam, and Hafez, which these other scoundrels, for reasons of governments, mullahs, rabbis, don't want to be revealed. That's it, you all have gotten so excited. I'm just explaining these points. I haven't invented anything myself. Pay attention. He says, when you descend into the Valley of Quest, 100 troubles will come before you at every moment. It's just getting started, buddy. Before you thought you'd pray, perform ablution, bow and prostrate, oh how wonderful. You were happy. Now you've realized it's all in the toilet. There's no benefit whether you fornicate or pray. Fornication is better. Now you've realized there is no source of emulation. A source of emulation must have seen the light of God. Meaning, in the end, for you to know what it means, they must be at the final stage of the quest. The final stage of the Valley of Quest is seeing the light of God. Look what a first valley this is. Meaning you, that person, the source of emulation, that rabbi or that pope who wants to baptize you, must have seen the light of God to be able, when he baptizes you, to give commands to the structure of water, to the structure of the universe, to the molecules of the air, to the intermolecular forces, to the magnetic field, to the acceleration of gravity. He must give the command, be ready, an individual is coming to have faith. Listener, pay attention. Here in this, up to the couplet, I've explained 1,000, meaning you reach a station in the Valley of Quest where you see the light of God. This is just the stage of the quest, meaning the stage where this source of emulation he prays, he fasts, pays religious tax and all that. First, he must be obedient to the command of the Master. The source of emulation, all the clergy of the world, the Pope, everyone must first be obedient to the command of the Master, meaning he must go find that individual. After he has found him, he listens to his words. As he is suffering for you to be educated, he himself listens like a donkey to see what is being said. Then he does these things. He wakes up at 2 or 2:30 in the morning and doesn't sleep until 6 a.m. He only weeps. He only screams. When he sleeps at 6 a.m., he says, "Is there anyone more dishonorable than me in the world?" He sleeps again, wakes up again. He suffers like this, suffers until he reaches a point where, if he is a pious and devout Muslim, he reaches the degree where what happens? He sees the light of God in the Valley of Quest. Meaning from you who are listening to Restart to seeing the light of God is all happening only in the Valley of Quest, and you see it. This person now has two of the main versions of being a source of emulation. One, obedient to the command of the Master. Two, he has seen the light of God. He still can't talk to you. Pray. Meaning if something came out of the wall, if he reached the degree where he saw the light of God, was obedient to the command of the Master, found this perfect man, the Imam of the time, the Mahdi, the Hadi, the Qutba, the Pir, and all that. He just found this being, and he has two versions. He also saw the light of God, went through hell himself. He now has two conditions for being a source of emulation. No, he's still not a source of emulation. He still can't go on the pulpit and speak. He's still not a source of emulation. He still doesn't have permission to speak. This is just the law wanting to tell you, pray. Just that. How? No, I won't say. Just pray. How should we pray? How to go is not there. One must guard the self. There is still another stage. Meaning in the Valley of Quest, you must now guard his self. His self must be in his embrace. At night, he must hug it under the blanket, and in the frame of the self, it must be under the blanket. Now, until he has these three conditions, he won't reach the fourth. Pay attention. When that light becomes manifest in the heart, in your heart, one quest becomes 1,000. When fire appears on his path, and 100 unpleasant valleys appear. Here he throws in a sharp blade. Attar reveals a secret here. If I can get to my next part today where I want to read a few couplets from them, you'll see how strange it is. He says only when the light shone in his heart, he suddenly went into the valley. He's explaining the story of Moses when Moses became Moses. Oh my God, oh my God. He says Moses in the valley, meaning in the Valley of Quest, the light of the perfect man, and God appeared in him. After this he says, when fire appears on his path. meaning he went into the valley and fire appeared to him, and 100 unpleasant valleys appear. So when did fire appear to Moses? When he was not a perfect man, when he was just like you and me, listening, searching for a perfect man. He went into the valley of quest. Fire appeared on the street. Good girl, good boy, see what a valley this valley of quest is, that even seeing the fire speaking to Moses was in the valley of quest. When fire appears on his path, and 100 unpleasant valleys appear. Now the valleys will be created again in those 100 other valleys. He opened up 1,000 up there, and he opened 100 here that went. You can't add these. You have to multiply, meaning if we multiply 100 by 1,000, we get 100,000 states. He, out of longing for him like a madman, throws himself upon the fire like a moth. He says Moses went there, lost his mind, and started. He, out of longing for him like a madman, throws himself upon the fire like a moth. All of this is in the valley of quest. This is from the time you are listening to Restart until you find the perfect man and reach these stages. You are in the valley of quest. He seeks the secret with his own yearning. He wants a sip from his own cupbearer. Now he turns to the perfect man at this stage, and only now says, "Sir, pour the wine, let's drink and have fun. Give us a good time." He begs from morning till night for one of those beautiful things to drink and enjoy. When he drinks a sip of that wine, he forgets both worlds completely. I really don't know, you say, for example, to Makarem, a grand Ayatollah, to don't curse. For your mother's sake, look at which stage is where, what this one says, what that one says. For your mother's sake, listen, he says, when he drinks a sip of that wine. So first Moses went to Mount Sinai. So Muhammad in the house, in the cave of Hira, was in the valley of quest, you Yazid. Meaning the coming of Azrael and Israfil, the trumpet of Israfil and Gabriel, are all the valley of quest. This valley that you are in right now, standing and listening. When he drinks a sip of that wine, he forgets both worlds completely. Sir, he raises the glass for a toast. He says, "Cheers," and Swing gets drunk and forgets both worlds. Meaning this world, that world, he's no longer thinking of paradise. He remains drowned in the sea, happily seeking. He seeks the soul of the beloved with his own soul. He laments to know the secret and does not fear the soul-taking sword. If disbelief and curse come before him together, he accepts them so that a door may open for him. When he opened the door, there is no that and this there anymore. It becomes, it is the book, meaning this is the book. There is no this and that anymore. It's all about this and that in the beginning. When the door opened for him, what is your disbelief? What is your faith? For beyond that door, there is no that and this. It's that same knocking on the door. For him, there is no door. But to understand the valley of quest, we must add these next few couplets. Couplets that prove that Attar's death sentence really must be issued. And no cleric in the world accepts these next 8, 10, 15 couplets that I will read to you. And if they execute Attar, in my opinion, sitting here, they haven't done a bad thing, because everything they had built in one night with 10, 15 couplets, Attar blows it all up. If we look at it with real logic, the sentence to kill Attar is logical. In the Valley of Quest, Attar tells a story. He said when the truth breathed this pure soul into the body of Adam, which was water and dust, he wanted the host of angels, one and all, to have no news of the soul, nor any trace. Oh my God, he is explaining the story of creation. What does this mean? He explained the Valley of Quest. Now he wants to make Hosseini understand with two stories. He said when the truth breathed this pure soul into the body of Adam, which was water and dust, he wanted the host of angels, one and all, to have no news of the soul, nor any trace. He says all the stories the religions tell are nonsense. God played a sly trick, meaning he reached out, grabbed God by the collar, grabbed him, pulled. In these few couplets he shatters everything. He says when God was breathing into man who was water and dust, he wanted the host, a huge crowd of angels that must have been standing there, one and all, meaning in a row, in formation, to have no news of the soul nor any trace. God had created something and didn't want these angels to figure it out. He He was breathing it in secretly, meaning he had made a water and dust creature. He wanted to breathe his invention into it, and he was afraid Pepsi-Cola would find out the secret of Coca-Cola and go use its formula. I'm giving an example. He was being careful about some things so that no one would find out. Why? You didn't want the angels to understand anything about the soul and its effect. So the angels don't understand the soul and its effect. The reason? Here he indicates that the angels don't understand two great secrets up there. One is the soul, the other is the effect, which we will explain later. He said, "O spiritual beings of the sky, prostrate before Adam at this time." The command came. He said, "All you angels, instead of thinking, don't talk nonsense. Everyone just bow down at once, prostrate before Adam." Now he's the creation, meaning the initial creation that the religion spoke of, is a lie, and he is blowing up all the historians. Listen, whoa. He said, "O spiritual beings of the sky, prostrate before Adam at this time." Hey, this is a trick within a trick. He said, "O spiritual beings of the sky," meaning O angels who have reached spirituality, prostrate to this Adam. He is telling the planet Earth exactly, O Rabbi spiritualists, O Zoroastrian and Moabed spiritualists, prostrate to this perfect man. This is the meaning of the couplet. He said, "O spiritual beings of the sky, prostrate before Adam at this time," meaning right now you must go and prostrate to the perfect man. When the message reaches the top of the universe, it means the planet Earth. Your crotch, later. This is what he's saying. Listen, you Yazid, damn it. God told the spiritual beings of the sky to prostrate to this Adam. What does this mean? It means the spirituality of all religions must prostrate to this perfect man. He said, "O spiritual beings of the sky, prostrate before Adam at this time." They all placed their heads on the ground. Consequently, not a single one saw that pure secret. Ha 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 ha. What a character this Attar is. He says at the time of breathing into man, why did the angels prostrate? All so that God could get lip to lip. He said, let them go into prostration, heads down so they don't see what's happening up here. Dear listener, pay close attention. How deep and beautiful this point is, he explains. He says God was standing there, he wanted to do something, and everyone was watching this act up there like fools. The instruction came, "Sir, all angels prostrate, legs and butts in the air." See, prostration is what Mr. Ray Sharif. Prostration means what? Heads on the ground, butts in the air. Why did he do this? Because God up there wanted to perform a sleight of hand, something that if their heads were up, they would see what he was doing. He said, "Everyone prostrate, legs, heads down, butts up." All the butts were in the air, and God began. Why? So that the angels, these celestial beings, wouldn't understand what he was doing. He said, "O spiritual beings of the sky, prostrate before Adam at this time." They all placed their heads on the ground. Consequently, not a single one saw that pure secret. Because their heads were down, no one figured it out. Then Iblis came and said, "This soul will never see a prostration from me." Iblis raised his head with both eyes and side-eyeing secretly so he could see what was going on. He saw all the butts in the air, heads on the ground. He pulled his own head up to see what was up. Well, what is he doing? Why should we prostrate? Let's see what the deal is, what he's doing. "If they cast my head from my body, it is no sorrow as long as I have this neck." He said, "Sir, I'm not doing any prostration, buddy. I want to see what's going on. I know well that Adam is not dust. I will lay down my head to see the secret. I have no fear." He said, "He's lying." Satan said, "God says this is created from dust and water. I know that this Adam he has created cannot be from dust." He says, "I know well that Adam is not dust." Satan is saying this. "I will lay down my head to see the secret. I have no fear. I have to be able to see what's happening." Since Iblis's head was not on the ground, he saw the secret, for he was in ambush. Everyone prostrating, butts in the air, heads. 3 heads. One fool up there, his head in the middle of a crowd sticking out to see what's what. That was Iblis. Well, obviously, when everyone is prostrating, one head is out. God saw him. "Hey, what's up?" I said, prostrate." "No, I want to see what I'm doing. It's beautiful." The Almighty said to him, "O spy of the path, you might when you, by craning your head, saw this place. Since you saw the treasure I had hidden, I will kill you so you do not speak of it in the world. He reveals the secret of why God issued the order to kill Iblis. Why? Because his head was up, he saw the event. He said, "Hey, Mr. Satan, your head was up, so you saw?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Now that you have seen me." Now what did he see? This is a very important point. Look, I'll interpret it for you like a crime scene. Everyone's eyes are closed. They are killing someone. When my eyes open, I see the killer. The killer then, whether I want it or not, is forced to kill me. Meaning, if a killer is killing 4 people, everyone's eyes are closed. Now Hosseini, the Iblis, has peeked with his eyes up. I saw the killer's face. Now that I have seen the killer's face, the killer says, "Even though I didn't want to kill you, I came to the bank to rob it, but I have to kill you." Logically, he must kill. God says, "Look, your head was up. You saw the event. You understood that this is not dust. You saw my face, because I had to pull the curtain aside to breathe from my own face in place of this Adam. I pulled the curtain aside. You saw my face as I was stuffing it in place of this Adam. Now that you've seen, I will screw you over. Since you saw the treasure I had hidden, I will kill you so you do not speak of it in the world. You know why I'm killing you? Satan, so you don't tell others. For the secret is not safe outside the army. Wherever a king places a treasure, it is not hidden from the army. Wherever a king places a treasure here, it's very important. It must be hidden. It belongs to the king. Without a doubt, in the eye of the one who sees it wrongly, he will kill him and mark his soul. A man saw a treasure, a chosen treasure. He must have his head cut off for his choice. He says, now that you have seen this treasure, understood this secret, I must cut off your head. If I do not cut off your head from your body at this moment, this matter will spread to the whole world. If I don't cut off your head now, Satan, forgive my soul. I know you have worshipped much, I know you have done much, but you understood this secret. If I don't cut your head off, you will spread it everywhere. He said, O Lord, give this servant a reprieve, find a remedy for this one who has been cast out of work. Satan said, Sir, we screwed up, we ate shit, we weren't paying attention. We should have bowed like the fools and not understood the matter. Now we understand. Give us a reprieve, give us a break, find a solution for this. Give us a way out. We've seen it now. Don't kill us. We came to rob a bank. We saw a face. Don't kill. The Almighty said, I will not grant a reprieve. I have placed the collar of my curse on your neck. I will give you a reprieve, but I will put my curse on you. That curse is yours. That mercy is yours. I will brand your name as liar, so that you remain accused until Judgment Day. I will make it so that the whole world will curse you until Judgment Day and see you from behind. After that, Iblis said, that pure treasure, since it became clear to me, what fear have I of the curse? Here the death sentence for Attar is declared in this couplet. Iblis's answer to God is an answer that has nothing to do with religions. Pay close attention to the couplet. The Almighty said, I will not grant a reprieve. I have placed the collar of my curse on your neck. I will brand your name as liar, so that you remain accused until Judgment Day. What does Iblis say? After that, Iblis said, that pure treasure, since it became clear to me, what fear have I of the curse? Look beautiful. By God, don't think we're stupid. We saw something that means you can't kill us. We figured out the secret. We are watching what's happening from a hole. Now let the people of the world curse and damn our mothers. What does it matter? I figured out where the treasure is. Just getting the reprieve, meaning time was created after the Big Bang, meaning after time is created. He says, I figured out this treasure. I have no fear. Go ahead and curse and damn my mother. Put the curse. I want both. Put the curse. Put it. After that, Iblis said, that pure treasure, since it became clear to me, what fear have I of the curse? The curse is from you, the mercy is from you, the servant is yours, the destiny is yours. This mullah and rabbi and these guys are idiots. If you give a curse, you've given something beautiful. We enjoy it. The curse is yours. The mercy is yours. The servant is yours. The destiny is yours. Are you trying to scare a child? I worshipped for 100,000 years for you to scare a child. Curse me. The very fact that your lips open to curse my mother and father, you think I'm scared? I figured out the treasure. Curse my mother and father. The curse is yours. The mercy is also yours. The servant is yours, meaning I am your servant. Satan is saying, Attar is saying that Satan said to God, I am your servant. The destiny is yours. You want to beat us to a pulp? You want to take us to paradise? It's up to you. What's it to us? It's not our business to be nosy. If people curse me, I don't get upset. I understood the treasure. I understood the secret. I am happy that I saw you. I am happy I saw your face. For example, it's not important. Now when I sleep at night, your face is in my eyes. I take pleasure in it. I make love to it. Let people curse me, it's not important. After that, Iblis said, that pure treasure, since it became clear to me, what fear have I of the curse? The curse is yours, the mercy is yours, the servant is yours, the destiny is yours. If the curse is my lot, I have no fear. Poison is also needed, not everything is opium. Satan says to God, he says, if the whole world curses me, my love is that you curse me, to hear your voice. Speak. Curse my mother and father, insult me, hit me. The servant is yours, the destiny is yours, I have no fear. Give me opium to smoke. What do you want me to do? When I saw the creation seeking the curse, I, the impertinent one, took on the curse. A seeker must seek in this way. You are not a seeker, you are just a form. Attar says, from the day I understood this matter, I no longer cursed Satan, and these motherfuckers say Satanist. When I understood how lovingly he spoke with God, how kindly he spoke before God, he said, let them curse me, let them give me their damnation, as long as you are with me, as long as your voice is with me, as long as your caressing hand is on me. Destiny and mercy and grace are with you. My torment is also with you. I am your servant. What do you want to do with me? Whatever you say, I will listen. These 7,700 billion, let them curse my mother and father. I don't get upset. I am in love with you. My everything, my love is you. Attar says, since I understood this secret, he says I couldn't curse him. I weep bitterly for Satan from morning till night for my own state. This is how a quest must be. He is just saying this in the valley of quest. He says you, in listening to this restart, must reach a degree where your brother's head is cut off in prison and you smile. It's hard to say this CD. Give that CD. This is all in the first valley of quest. What? This one for hitting, that one for taking. It's the quest. This is not a reason not to rise up. If our honor is violated, we will destroy them. They want to disintegrate Iran, we will attack. We will all attack. We will all unite firmly. We will attack. This has nothing to do with war. If 1,000 people are killed, let them be. It's okay. We are here to defend our country and our people. Unless our own, these people, we must, you. This is how a seeker must seek. You are not a seeker. You are just a form. If you do not find him day and night, he is not lost. The defect is in the quest. He reveals another secret here for you, the listener. He says, if you do not find, if you listen to restart and still haven't reached him, you are thinking day and night and still haven't understood. He is not lost. He is not lost. He exists. The defect is in the quest. The problem is you. You are making a mistake in your quest. Meaning, in the words you are saying, there is blasphemy. In the words you are saying, there is a problem. Meaning, you don't know how to say it. You need to listen for a few more terms, another year, to learn the art of cleverness, what trick you have to play. Meaning, the beautiful one himself must send how you should play the trick. It has a trick, a technique. If you do not find him day and night, he is not lost. The defect is in the quest. But behind this story, so that some people don't start talking again, see, the trick Attar plays is that when he defines the valley of quest, because he knows 99.99% of the world's people won't understand, he comes and explains the quest again with 2 or 3 stories, meaning he makes you understand that, sir, understand this matter. This is my intention. For this reason, behind this, he explained the story of Satan's prostration to Adam. and said how it is and clarified its situation. After that, he explained why God cursed Satan. Then he explained the love play of Satan with God, which is itself a powerful game that we must now move forward with, and many other things. Meaning from now on, another angle, he explains from every aspect. Each time a story, he says now another story. This is behind it, he says, so that this whole matter sinks in again. It was the time of Shibli's death. He was restless. Shibli is a person who was with Hallaj, one of the great Sufis. Shibli is a Sufi, not an ordinary person. Shibli, when Attar speaks about Shibli, it means the form of a Sufi. Shibli and Hallaj played many clever games to clarify the situation. He says one day Shibli was dying. It was the time of Shibli's death. He was restless, eyes closed, a heart full of expectation. He says he's lying in his place. He is interpreting Shibli. He says Shibli is lying in his place, waiting for death, and his heart is also expecting, waiting to go. Now when he says a heart full of expectation, this shows that the perfect man comes and pulls your soul out in every era. This itself is a very important point. He says a heart full of expectation, meaning his heart was waiting to see the perfect man, meaning he completely blows up the whole subject of Azrael again, meaning other things will be opened up. His knees were bound in bewilderment. He was seated upon ashes. Sometimes love took his face in the ashes. Sometimes he put ashes on his head. He says Shibli was lying on the ground waiting for death, pouring ashes on his head, meaning he was suffering and crying and so on, screaming, Zunar, Zunar, a belt worn by non-Muslims that they tied. In the old days, when you, for example, say you find a religion of mysticism and Sufism, then if you put on the mullah's turban, so-and-so Zunar, I don't know, the priest's cross, it's a huge insult to someone who has entered the valley of Sufism. This is the peak of Sufi mysticism. He had tied this, meaning Zunar refers to disbelief, not a reference to religion to say, aha, he doesn't mean that priests are good, Christians are good, these are bad. No, sir, he's telling the story. Don't let your almond-shaped eyes want almonds for your mother's sake. Religion tied, he says, bring me the Zunar of disbelief. Bring that Zunar. The guy said, sir, you are dying at the last moment of your death, you Haji, a title for one who has performed the pilgrimage. You, after all this worship and everything, you want to become an infidel again near death? What is that? To tie a Zunar? Don't do this. A questioner said to him at such a time, who else has tied a Zunar? He says, does anyone tie a Zunar on himself now? Hey, what? You are dying. You are going to meet the beloved, and then you do this. For example, it's exactly like someone who becomes a Christian. At the last moment when he is dying, you turn on the light and he says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illa lillah. For example, Allahumma salli ali Muhammad wa al Muhammad, Islamic declarations of faith and blessings. All the Christians are blown away, meaning you say, you sent blessings at the last moment, Haji. We put you through baptism and drew a cross on your body and all that. For 15 years we drew the cross. Now in one night they turn on the light and you say send blessings upon Muhammad and his family? You finished the whole structure? Tying the Zunar means this. He said, I am burning. What should I do? How should I act? Since I am melting from jealousy, what should I do? My soul, which has averted its gaze from both worlds, is now burning from jealousy of Iblis. He said, you don't know what agony I'm in. He said, what do you mean? He said, for a moment, now that I am dying, I remembered Iblis. My soul, which has averted its gaze from both worlds, is now burning from jealousy of Iblis. He says, I understood both worlds and I am leaving. But my problem now is that there is a secret in Iblis that has just appeared to me. I don't know what to do. Give me the Zunar to tie. I'm scared. I'm sure that when I die, Satan will destroy me in the next world and will kill me or will say something to me, or Satan has done something that Shibli at the moment of his death understood that compared to Satan he probably understands nothing. I will say goodbye to you until next week and we will continue this story. Their Valley of Quest is long. I saw we wouldn't make it. Thanks for listening and all that. You've been very kind. I love you all. Wake Up Radio is just a joke. We're kidding. Let's all sit down. All of you who are watching and binge-watching series, watch those. They are more entertaining. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.